All right, let's fucking do it. Go! Everybody, welcome to the greatest show in the history of everybody who's ever lived. It's the Dusty Smith Show. Thank you guys for joining me. I sure appreciate it. Have a short show for you guys tonight. Not a whole lot of stuff happens in the last day and a half since I saw you last, but hey, it's more like a check-in show where we get to hang out together anyway because I love you and I missed you guys. So hope you guys are doing well out there. Hope you had a good Tuesday. Gonna cover the latest mystery in Palestine. Who bombed the Gaza Hospital, y'all? Did left-wing people jump the gun and blame Israel, or did they get it spot on? We're going to dig into this mystery. Donald Trump, another disastrous day in court. We're going to check in on that. A bunch of religious bullshit coming up at the top of the show, so hell yeah. As always, going to read every one of the super chats at halftime, so if you've never super chatted before, now is a great time. Make Fat Dusty eat your money. There's a little money sign over by the chat over here, and click on it. The more you donate, the more serious I take your questions, so support the world's greatest show and the Floating Cats. And by my love, we're going to wait to the very end of the show to read them, though, because we have a short show. We're going to roll right through it on the fastest paced podcast in the history of the earth. So let's go ahead and jump in, folks. It's time for some religious bullshit. Hell yeah. Boom. Religious bullshit. Religious bullshit. Religious bullshit. It's time for religious bullshit. It is time for religious bullshit. Hell yeah. And as always, a Kentucky pastor arrested on child sex charges. A pastor from Covington has been arrested and accused of sexually abusing a child at a church, according to Covington police. The investigation began when police received a report of sexual abuse from a child. An investigation revealed the abuse allegedly took place at the Ministerio Jesus Liberator Church in Covington late last month. During the investigation, the pastor of the church, Jose Luis Lopez Hernandez, 50, was identified as the suspect in the alleged abuse. Detectives learned during the investigation that Lopez Hernandez had traveled to California for a missionary trip and was supposed to return last week but skipped the flight back. Police then filed an arrest warrant for Lopez Hernandez, requested help from the FBI. So keep in mind, folks, all these I'm about to show you happened since Monday. Less than 2 days since this all happened. Colorado youth pastor, shocker, guilty on grooming charges. The former youth pastor is now staring down prison time after he was found guilty of sexually exploiting a child. As Fountain police reported last year, Jeffrey Williams was arrested in November of last year for allegedly sending sexually explicit material to one of the kids who attended his youth group. Might not want to take your kids to youth pastors. Like, why do we even have youth pastors? This is not something that should exist. You should not have these preachers specifically designed to indoctrinate your children. Recipe for disaster. I mean, if somebody wants to become a youth pastor, that ought to be red flags all over the goddamn place. Mississippi media minister arrested on child porn charges. A computer software developer and media ministry member of a Mississippi Coast church faces federal charges for distributing and possessing child pornography. Court papers say Cameron Cam Cotrill, 66, of Van Cleve, is jailed without bond pending trial in January. Yep, and let's see what else we got. Any more? Surely there can't be any more of these. Oh yeah, here it is. Liberty University faces a $37 million fine for alleged rape cover-up. Of course they did. Why would they report rapes and sexual assaults to the police? They're Christians. They're just going to cover it all up. And apparently that's against the law. So, yeah, they just slapped him with a $37.5 million fine. But this school has already got, $100 million, $874 million for student loans and grants from the Education Department in 2020 to 2021 alone. So, yeah, it's a slap on the wrist. Shut them the fuck down. Why are they even still in business? If they're not protecting their students, if they're not reporting rapes, if they're not going along with what the law says, you should shut these motherfuckers down. But of course, they're religious, so nothing is ever done to them. Always the case. Meanwhile, did you guys see this one? Leah Remini, former cult member of Scientology, now one of the greatest warriors against that evil cult, released this hidden video footage showing the tactics that they go through to squeeze every dime out of the victims that walk into the Scientology centers. So here is, I guess, some kind of conference they're having with these pieces of shit whose job is to audit people that come up off the street and try to bilk them out of every dime they get. Here she is explaining how you should never listen to them if they tell you they don't have any money. Instead, get on your computer, pull up all their credit card records right in front of them and show them that they actually do have money. Shame them into giving it to you, even if they claim they don't have it. Let's have a listen.
Everybody has money or access to it. I wish you could see these people say this. I know that they're crying to you and every new reg falls for the act. I remember when I was as a new reg, I was regging someone for power, and the lady said, you know, I just don't have it. I said, well, I'll give it. They just cried for it, and I gave my hard-earned money to them. Oh. Right. Because I didn't know that people say they don't have money when they do. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. Right? But we're going to have to show you and prove it to you because I know you don't believe it. So here's what we're going to do. The suits, just bring your person. I don't care if rich, poor. We don't care.
I know you don't.
You got to sit there, though. You've got to sit there while we go online and look up all their credit cards so we can show them to you. So you can see that your people definitely have money.
Just always the same, regardless of what religion it is. Just a grift. Wring every dime they can out of these suckers that fall for it. They don't give a shit about you. You should all be ashamed of your fucking selves. And way to go, Leah Remini. What a hero. Meanwhile, you guys know how we often talk about how amazingly cool Christian rap is? Of course, we all know that there's nothing cooler than Christian rap, except perhaps Christian heavy metal. Yes, scream metal has made its way to Christian land, and it's even better than you could possibly imagine, y'all. This song is called You Are Not a Real Christian. Finally, a Christian song I can get into. It's like this song knows me. It's right. I'm not a Christian. Hell yeah, rock on, Christians. You're making death metal so much better than it already was. Thank you. Thank you. And then, Satanic Appetic, alive and well. This is something I thought was dead and gone. This is what they did to me when I was a kid. It was Satanists are everywhere. They're sacrificing children. They're possessing you with heavy metal music, which I guess the Christians have fixed, and Dungeons and Dragons. And nowadays, it's just like trans people are the new Satanic Panic, but at least they're keeping the oldies alive and well at this church.
You gotta wake up! We are in a time now where the devil is wrapping up stuff like you can't imagine.
Cool.
And the church doesn't want to talk about it.
Why?
Because, you know, it's too gory, and it's too this and too that. I'm doing a literal live on Facebook before Halloween. It's going to be totally rated R. You want to have a parent watching you.
Okay, why are you waiting, though? If you have all this information about the satanic shit that's going on before Halloween, and you should be exposing it well before then, so tell us now.
I'm putting it all out there, what I discovered about Halloween.
Okay.
Now the origins, we already know all that. The unbelievable demonic things that happen on that day and that day alone.
Nothing.
The crime levels are unreal. They have entire plans of how to kidnap massive amounts of children. And I'm going to expose it all. I'm going to talk about which children they try to target.
Okay, well, shouldn't you do that before Halloween? Like, shouldn't you be telling us right now so we can be able to look out? What children are they targeting? Why are you keeping this to yourself?
How they target them? I'm telling you, I'm going to sound the alarm.
Okay, do it.
Y'all going to be praying for me. We're just shutting it down.
Okay, do it.
Why? God's children are not for sale.
God, who the fuck falls for this shit? It's just so crazy. In 2023, there are still idiots giving these motherfuckers money, but they do. A grift keeps on going. Meanwhile, at a Pastors for Trump rally, right-wing pastor Jackson Lawmeyer caught on God to remove from office all politicians that refuse to listen to your voice. And by your voice, they mean Donald Trump's voice, because God and Donald Trump are pretty much the same to these fucking idiots.
We are asking for your will to be done here on earth as it is in heaven.
Okay, stop. Why would you have to ask God for his will to be done on earth as it is in heaven? He's all powerful. Wouldn't his will be done just, automatically by default on account of the all powerfulness? It don't make no fucking sense, Christians.
And your kingdom to come in the United States of America. And Father, we pray for this nation. We pray for our leaders. And Lord, one of the prayers we offer up to you is the leaders that we have in Washington, D.C. that refuse to listen to your voice and do your will. Father, it is our request that you would uproot them and that you would remove them and you would replace them with men and women of godliness and righteousness and justice.
Okay, why would you have to request anything to God? Like, God is all-knowing, so why would you think that you know better than God does? If it's his plan to uproot these people, then it's already going to be done, whether you ask for it or not. If it's not his all-knowing, all-wise plan, then it's not going to happen, even if you're asking for it. So your prayer makes no fucking sense. It's almost like you're just saying these words for these idiots that are in the congregation so you can bilk them out of money. Almost like you're just using the pulpit as like a political platform to push your political ideology.
Father, may justice flow like a river out of Washington, D.C.
Scary fascism coming to us, draped in a flag with a cross across its back. Meanwhile, right-wing pastor Jack Hibbs used his Sunday sermon to declare that God sanctions war. You know, it's true. I mean, I've read the Bible. He got a point here. Here's the all-loving Christians for you.
And if somebody seeks to destroy you, there is no Christianity of being passive.
Literally turn the other cheek. Jesus was pretty passive, all about forgiveness and shit. But anyway.
When somebody insults you, that's what it means about turning the other cheek.
Right.
If somebody insults you, turn to them. Jesus said the other cheek. Let them insult you as well. If they smack you on the cheek with an insult, turn the other cheek.
Didn't say that.
Don't worry about your reputation.
It didn't say anything about that. It said just forgive your enemies and turn the other cheek. But he's got to change it, of course, because he's a violent vow sack of shit. So he's got to make it like Jesus wasn't a pussy. Jesus wanted you to commit war atrocities and kill your enemies.
God says, I got your reputation. That's right. To think otherwise is to say that soldiers that God leads into battle, David included, were all wrong.
They were wrong.
The Bible says in the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not murder. Read it carefully. The Hebrew word kill is not there.
Oh, good.
It's murder.
Nice.
God sanctions war because God knows until the Prince of Peace returns, there's going to be wars. Does that make some sense?
Nope.
When you talk about, wait a minute, Israel needs to kind of tone it down and be proportional.
Yeah.
Who says such thing?
Over 1,000 children killed, Christians. Over 1,000 innocent children already that had nothing to do with this, murdered. So you want to show us the love of Christ a little bit, have a little humanity, and maybe call for it to be toned down a little bit so less innocent children get murdered? You don't?
Things. Those who are on the other side.
Yep. Oh, God damn it. Religion of peace, religion of love, showing us the love of Christ as they're wont to do. But they've always been bloodthirsty animals. And meanwhile, I'm starting to think Christians might be slightly hypocritical. Here's a right-wing pastor, Robert Henderson, when Trump was president, telling everybody that a president of the United States cannot be criticized because they were put there by God. So who are we to ever criticize a president of the United States?
I promise you, there is a curse on our nation because not because the secular world speaks against President Trump, but because the Christian world does.
So many
because we are violating the laws of God, and we are violating the ways of God by rising up and speaking evil against President Trump. People may not like his mannerisms. They may not like the way they do him, that he does things. They may question his motives. But here's the reality. He sits in the seat of the President of the United States of America. And because of that, he should never be reviled. He should never be spoken evil of. He should never be criticized.
You heard there, folks. If you're the president of the United States, you should never be reviled. You should never be spoken against. You should never be criticized if you're the president. And he's a Christian, so we know he is incredibly consistent. There is no way in the world he could be what's that?
This is what I do know. All that the Biden administration is doing, everything that they're seeking to accomplish, it is all designed to weaken America.
Yes.
I mean, they're either the most ignorant people that's ever been in power, or they have an agenda to bring America down.
Damn it, that sounds like criticism to me. A little bit, dude. Sounds like you're criticizing the president a whole lot, but I guess it's fine. Jesus didn't say anything about being a giant fucking hypocrite, did he? Meanwhile, Pastor Greg Locke wants to start up World War III. He just wants the U.S. to bomb the most holy sites the Muslims have so it can piss them off and we can just eradicate them from the face of the fucking earth. More Christian love for you.
What they ought to do is evacuate up there on the hill and get a great big missile and blow that wicked dome of the rock plumb off of the spot where it's standing right now so we can get that third temple rebuilt and usher in the coming of Jesus.
Okay, well, you saw most of that. He wants to blow up the most holy of holy sites for the Muslims, stir them all up. I don't know why I went black there, stupid bull fucking shit. Probably because I bet the tweet got removed or some shit. Always the way, whatever, fuck you, god damn it. And then, hey, I had more than this. My shit, what the fuck? Okay, I guess that was it. I guess that was all my religious bullshit. I thought I had more. Oh, I'm disappointed. I cock-teased myself. All right, that's my religious bullshit. What you guys think? You guys think we should start World War III with the Muslims? Yeah, video went dark. Even darker than it already was somehow. Yeah, video got raptured. What you gonna do? R.I.P. video. We hardly knew ye. Come on, show some ass. You won't see my ass. Used to have such a good dumper, y'all. Holy God, my dumper was about a quarter off of it. Now a quarter would just sink into it. Fuck. Skipping goddamn leg day. Big booty Latinos. I'm a fan of big booty Latinos, to be honest with you. Not just Latinos though. Just everybody who has a big booty. Christians are boring. They are pretty boring. Same old shit, but we got to cover it, folks. You got to stick with what brought us to the party, you know. And all right, get your super chats in, folks. It's time for some Chud Watch. Chud Watch. Talking about Chud Watch. We talk about Chud. And then make fun of them. And first off, on tonight's Chud Watch, a bullhorn lady receives almost 5 years in prison. Remember this treasure of a lady here. Let's show you what she did. Remember her on January 6th? There she is. Yeah, traitor. They literally tried to break into Congress and overturn the will of the people, destroy democracy forever, install Trump as a dictator. Yeah, that's a crime, lady. That's a crime. Let's listen to her whine about it, folks.
You go in the building. How can the government argue for 96 months?
Well, that is incorrect. I did go in the building, and the one through a window, but I didn't go deep into the building.
You didn't go. She didn't go deep, folks. She did break into the building. We just saw her, and she went inside, and she did have a bullhorn that she was yelling at everybody to go in the building and try to overturn our democracy. But hey, she barely even committed treason. Just like a tiny, teeny bit of treason. So why are they giving her jail time?
To the Senate floor. I didn't go into anybody's offices. And I don't understand why they're asking for as much as they are.
Okay, because you're a traitor. You tried to overturn American democracy, and you're very, very lucky that we don't treat you the way you guys claim that we should treat traitors. So you're getting off very easy. Might want to do your 5 years and shut the fuck up, lady.
It doesn't make any sense to me because it was a mistake.
It's a big ass mistake, and you're gonna fucking pay for it.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
And
well, you have 5 years to be real fucking sorry, dumbass.
I wish I could.
I bet.
Pay for it or do something.
You are going to pay for it. That's if you wish that you're going to pay for it. Wish granted, bitch.
Do anything but 8 years to. I don't understand it. You could talk to me about the window.
Tell them about breaking into the window.
I mean, I did break a window.
Yeah, it was on video, dummy.
I saw. I was on the violent side of the building. I was on the west side.
Right, you're the violent side of the building.
And after I saw Roseanne Boylan dead at my feet, I was obviously irrational. I did break a window. I've never hid that. I've always been open about it.
Yeah, it's on video. How the fuck are you going to hide it, dummy?
But to give somebody 8 years for that in an out-of-control protest, you know, we're not insurrectionists.
You are.
We didn't go there with a plan.
It doesn't matter. You're part of the mob, and the entire point of the mob was to intimidate Congress, not to certify Joe Biden as the president. Instead, delay until Donald Trump could do shenanigans and be put in office forever. So, yeah, that is an insurrection, whether you like it or not. Enjoy prison, you fucking moron. Meanwhile, speaking of Trump, another bad week in court for him. Starting to think it's not 4D chess he's playing here. So apparently when he was doing his appraisals for his buildings and whatnot, the guy he used, the guy whose name he forged as his appraiser was like, I didn't have anything to do with this. They forged my name. Trump's appraiser just sold him down the river because the guy Trump said was his appraiser never appraised anything for Trump. He didn't even know Trump was using his name to justify his fake financial statements. Oopsies. There's another couple zeros to the lawsuit there, Trump. Meanwhile, he got told to shut the fuck up. Apparently, he was murmuring over witnesses who were testifying against him, and the judge was like, nah, 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 zip it, settle that, nah. A judge warned Donald Trump and others at his New York civil fraud trial to keep their voices down Wednesday after the former president threw up his hands in frustration and spoke aloud to his lawyers while a witness was testifying against him. Judge Arthur Engoron made the admonition after Trump conferred animatedly with his lawyers and the defense table during a real estate appraisal, Doug Larson's second day of testimony at the Manhattan trial. So, yep, gag that motherfucker. Put some duct tape around his lips. That's what he needs. Meanwhile, apparently his lawyers are not even eligible to try cases in D.C. John Oberlin says, my God, Trump attorneys aren't legally allowed to practice law in the court they're defending him in. They knew it and they tried anyway. Here's the deputy clerk to the letter. Dear counsel, it's my understanding that you represent a party in the above captioned case. Our records reveal that you are not a member of the bar of this court. It is the policy of the court that all attorneys appearing before it be members of the bar of this court. Our rules do not allow us to accept filings from attorneys who are not members. Also, the names of non-members may not appear, blah, blah, blah. So basically, I think they did this on purpose. They're trying to do whatever they can to stall. I guess they're willing to go to jail for Trump, get disbarred for Trump, whatever they have to do for Trump, they'll do it. Seems dumb, but you do you, lawyers. Meanwhile, Trump out there posting the address of New York Attorney General, posted to Trump's True Social account. Her fake case against me should be dropped immediately. And and the post included a link to a smear piece by white nationalist Laura Loomer that featured documents that showed a home address for Attorney General James. The link is to a Loomer Substack post. He's literally trying to get her killed, folks. Even though they gagged him, still going to put her home address out there. That's 100% what he wants to happen. He wants one of his idiot cult members to go murder these people, and then he'll be like, it was Antifa. It was a psyop. I bet the FBI did it. Don't blame me, 100%. Well, what's going to happen here, folks? If any of us behave this way, they would lock our ass up. But there's a different set of rules when it comes to Trump. Teflon Don, get away with anything. Meanwhile, a New York court employee was arrested after trying to run up to Donald Trump and beg him to let her help him. A court employee was arrested Wednesday after she tried to approach former President Donald Trump while he was seated in the courtroom during his civil trial in Lower Manhattan. As the trial was taking place, the woman disrupted the proceedings by standing up and walking towards the front of the courtroom and yelling out to Mr. Trump, indicating she wanted to assist him, according to a spokesman from the New York State Unified Court System. So, yeah, they arrested her and basically put her on leave. You about to lose your job, you fucking moron. But I guess cult members, they don't care. Anything they can do to help their daddy, even if it costs them their jobs, they're going to do. And then I said on a previous show, I didn't believe that RFK Jr. was going to help Biden more than he helped Trump. But it's possible I was wrong about that. New poll spells disaster for Donald Trump. Former Democratic-turned-independent presidential hopeful RFK Jr. may pull votes away from Donald Trump and improve Joe Biden's chance of re-election in 2024, according to a poll. An NPR PBS NewsHour Marist survey of 1,218 registered voters conducted on October 11th found that Biden narrowly beats Trump, the two presumptive Democratic and GOP presidential candidates, in a hypothetical head-to-head by 49 to 46%. However, when Kennedy is introduced in the poll as the third candidate, Biden's lead over Trump increases by 7 points, 44 to 37%, with Kennedy getting the support of 16% of voters. With Kennedy in the race, Biden's support falls 5 points among Democrats, whereas Trump loses 10 points. So, amazing. Every right-wing influencer in the world gave RFK Jr. the rub, boosted him up, gave him all that free airtime, thinking it was going to hurt Joe Biden. Now, hoisted by your own petard. I love it when they destroy themselves. And then, another bad week for Republican Congress. They're in complete disarray. There is no Speaker of the House still. They're trying to make Jim Jordan the Speaker of the House. He failed 3 different votes so far, I believe, 2 different votes. On the Democratic side, they're trying to nominate Hakeem Jeffries. Every single Democrat voted for him, so he actually got more votes, but not enough to win the nomination because Republicans are still in the majority in the House. So here's the vote where he gets 212 votes, Hakeem Jeffries, and everybody cheers.
The tellers agree in their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 432, of which the Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 200 votes. The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212 votes.
And so they're floating the idea that possibly they might get a few votes Republicans that actually vote with Democrats to make Jeffries the Speaker of the House. I think there's a 0% chance of that happening. I think that's all bullshit, hopium, but we'll see. That's the rumor that they're floating right now. And meanwhile, it's amazing to think about how much the Republican Party has changed in the last 10 years. Republicans have never been good, but when I was growing up, it was a completely different animal than it is now. They've always been shit, like Mitt Romney, who is just a horrible fucking human being. But to listen to the way he speaks, this is how most Republicans used to speak. This is how they used to behave. Just a completely different class of people than they are now. Here's Mitt Romney talking about Jim Jordan and why he doesn't think he should be Speaker of the House.
Do you think Jim Jordan is the right Republican to be Speaker of the House?
Well, it does seem like the Republicans in the House are letting the tail wag the dog. The great majority of the Republicans in the House, I think, would like to have someone that represents the mainstream of our party. Jim Jordan represents a small part of the party, but a very vocal part of the party. And they've been calling the shots. He's probably not the first choice I would have made, but it's not my choice. It's up to them. Whether he'll get the job or not, I don't know. But if he does get the job, it'll be a case of the dog catching the car, which is what happens then. I mean, there are people in my party who go to Washington to bark, to make noise, not to make law, but to make noise. I think Jim Jordan would call himself one of those who's got a lot to say and is loud and barking, but actually passing law, getting law that's signed not just by members of the House, but also in the Senate and by the president. That's a different matter. And we'll see whether he rises to the occasion if he becomes Speaker.
Man, it's just hard to believe that we're longing for the day when people like Mitt Romney were in charge of the Republican Party. Just crazy how far they've fallen so fast. It's such a shit show. And meanwhile, Republican Congressman Don Bacon talking about how he doesn't think Jim Jordan is going to... I'm going to skip this one. Jim Jordan probably not going to get it. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Then, to counter all the right-wingers who are claiming crime is spiraling under Joe Biden. It's one of the main talking points they have now to try to win votes for Donald Trump. It just turns out, shockingly, not true. Republicans constantly claim that Biden's America is more violent and crime is out of control. It's a lie. The number of murders in the U.S. has dropped a staggering 6% in 2022. According to data from the feds, murder and non-negligent manslaughter recorded a 2022 estimated nationwide decrease of 6.1%. The number of murders in 2023 is on pace to drop even more than that. Violent crime decreased an estimated 1.7% in 2022 compared to 2021. In 2022, the estimated number of offenses in the revised rape category saw an estimated 5.4% decrease. Aggravated assault in 2022 decreased an estimated 1.1%. So yeah, facts matter. Things are getting better regardless of the lies Republicans want to tell to misinform people, fool them, cheat them. And Biden doing a pretty good job on the economy, too. I'm disappointed in very much of his response to the Gaza Israeli conflict, which we're going to go over in the Palestinian section. But here's Bloomberg trying to shit on him. 1 year ago, forecast for U.S. recession within year hits 100% and blow to Biden. That's right, 100%. There is a 0% chance it's not going to happen. 1 year later, U.S. economic data keep coming in stronger and defying forecasts. How can it defy your 100% forecast, Bloomberg? Get your shit together, dudes. And Super Chud Elon Musk speed running the destruction of X/Twitter. Apparently, they're trying a new program in New Zealand and the Philippines where they're charging everybody who signs up for Twitter/X $1 a year. It's all going to be behind a paywall, folks. Like once they test it out in these places, it's going to go behind a paywall for everybody. At first, it's probably only going to be new subscribers, but eventually it's going to be all of us. Elon wants us all to have to pay him every month for the privilege to post on his website, which, not going to happen. You're going to get some people, but it's just going to cause a mass exodus. I guess Threads, hopefully Threads is going to get their shit together, make it more like Twitter before too long. I don't know what's taking them so long, folks. I eventually will be moving over to Threads. But another death knell in the coffin of this $44 billion albatross around Elon Musk's neck. Did I use that word correctly? And then, last but not least, on Chud Watch, horrible sack of shit Matt Walsh out here declaring that, hey, he knows that his rhetoric towards trans people is going to lead to trans people getting killed, but that's something he's willing to do, folks, because he doesn't actually give a shit about them in any way. If they have to die so he can make a lot of money spreading hatred towards them, you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet, I guess.
I care because the truth matters.
You don't give a shit about any of this. There's nothing you care less about than trans people. The only reason you're doing this is because you know you can freak people out about this. You know this is the new satanic panic. This is the new fear-mongering scheme that's making you tons of fucking money. So you keep beating this dead horse over and over and over again because that's how you get bucks. You don't have a fucking soul. You don't have any integrity, any morals. You don't care who you hurt. You just want to make that fucking scratch. We can all see right goddamn through you.
And you are saying things that are not true.
Yes, you are.
And I'm not going to just let you say things that aren't true.
This is a guy who's a fucking Catholic, y'all. How can you, with a straight face, pretend like you care in any goddamn way about the truth? Believe in virgin births and talking donkeys and long hair giving you magical powers and shit, all right? You don't give a fuck about the truth, dipshit.
Without disputing it.
Definitely.
The truth matters
none to you.
More than anything. It matters more than your ideology. It matters more than your preferences. It matters more.
Catholic, gonna tell you a truth matters more than ideology. You motherfuckers literally believe crackers turn into flesh and wine turns into blood.
More than your feelings or your self-identification or your gender identity or your sexual orientation.
Or your religion.
The truth matters more than anything. It matters more than your life and more than mine. You know, trans activists say that if you talk about this issue, that when I talk about this issue, I am putting their lives at risk somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's true, well, you know what? It's a risk worth taking.
Yeah, he's probably fine with putting your lives at risk. Hey, no skin off his nose, right? He's going to be fine. He doesn't give a fuck about you.
If speaking the truth puts your life at risk, I'll still speak it.
Whoa.
It's a risk worth taking.
Yeah. If speaking the truth puts your life at risk, I'll still do it. I'll say whatever I have to as long as it's your life at risk. Oh, that's great of you. What a sack of shit. But once again, as always, showing the love of Christ. And I guess that's it. That's all of my Chud Watch tonight. Hell yeah. We're rolling through it. What we got to say about that? A 3-in-1 God is silly. It's just facts, y'all. It's like the tenses of time. There's the past, the present, and the future. They're all completely different, but they're all the same thing. It just makes sense. You did see the Shark Zero, yet he confronted Matt. Confronted Matt who? Ty Baby? Dillahunty? No, I did not see that. You have to send me stuff on X Twitter. Full of shit. Definitely full of shit. Faux show. Dirty 64. What up, Dirty 64s? Hell yeah. Love you guys. All right. Super chat. Gonna read them all. Show gonna be over before too long. We got a little bit to go. Now it's time for even more depression. They're gonna cover the Palestine conflict. No justice, no peace. Another horrible day for the Gaza Strip. So first off, apparently there was an explosion at a hospital, and a lot of people that lean left were quick to blame Israel for the destruction. Joey Carbon, Israel airstrikes have hit Al-Holloway Hospital in Gaza. More than 500 people, patients, doctors, and those sheltering have been killed. What an unspeakable horror. Wasn't the only one immediately to go public and blame Israel for this. Hassan B. Unimaginable barbarity. The Western world has blood on its hand for cheerleading this ethnic cleansing campaign. And here's the photo of it. It appears to me, just by looking at the photo, that it did really hit the hospital. It was more of the parking lot. To me, it doesn't look from the damage like it could have killed 500 people unless there were just a ton of people packed in that parking lot. Here's some video. Once again, I was not there. I do not know. But it looks like some cars got destroyed, so problem with it is you can't really believe anything that Hamas says because they're a terrorist organization, right? And you can't believe anything Israel says because the IDF, also a terrorist organization. Both sides lie repeatedly. Both sides putting out propaganda, misinformation all over the place. Somebody said Hassan's thing doesn't have any blame, but the thing here posted, the Gaza Health Ministry says an Israeli airstrike has killed at least 500 people. That's what he reposted with unimaginable barbarity. So yes, you're not right about that. He's definitely making a claim here by reposting this and calling it unimaginable barbarity that the IDF did it, right? Come on, don't bullshit me now. Let's keep it straight and let's keep it real. And so then everybody was calling out left-wingers, saying that they were lying about it. They were too quick to jump on Israel's ass about doing this when Hamas is a terrorist organization. It's probably just a missile that they actually set off. Joe Walsh, Hammering Jink Uger. Jink says, Israel bombed a hospital, killing 300 to 500 civilians inside. You can make any excuse you like, and you can get offended at the words used to describe that atrocity, but you can't say that's what a decent and moral government would do. And then Joe Walsh is like, except it's looking more and more like Israel did not bomb that hospital. It's looking more and more like an Islamic Jihad rocket did, Jink. Why didn't you wait until we knew for certain? Luckily, I had a little bit of wine yesterday, and I have a rule that I don't get on social media at all when I'm drinking. So I didn't take any sides of this, so I don't have to walk anything back. I don't know who is responsible for this. Joe Biden claims that he has seen evidence from our intelligence agencies that proved to him it was not Israel. In the second Wednesday, White House spokesman Adrian Watson said the current U.S. assessment based on overhead imagery, intercepts, and open source information found that Israel was not responsible for the blast at the Al-Ali hospital in Gaza. Earlier in the day, President Biden, visiting Israel in a show of support for the U.S. allies, said the strikes appeared to have resulted from an errant rocket fired by a terrorist group in Gaza, echoing claims made by Israeli defense forces. So, who do you believe? Do you believe our own intelligence agencies, Joe Biden, and Israel? Or do you believe Hamas? I don't know. Mehdi Hassan says, the experts I'm following online are suggesting it wasn't an Israeli airstrike at the hospital, but the Israeli media headline from a year ago, earlier, false Israeli denials, is just one reason why so many people were and still skeptical of Israel's denials now, because they have a history of bombing hospitals and lying about it. They've bombed many hospitals just in the last 2 weeks. Here's from last year. Israeli strike killed 5 Gaza children, officials admit, after initially blaming Islamic Jihad. Immediately after their deaths on the final day of the recent Israel-Gaza flare-up, Israeli senior officials had said the 5 were likely killed by a misfire Islamic Jihad rocket a day after what was initially seen as a similar incident. So they lie. Obviously, they don't want to take responsibility for bombing a hospital. Channel 4 not believing them. Here's Channel 4's take on Israel's denial.
Really happened.
They present what they say is 2 Hamas operatives talking about the attack.
بس بقول لك أول مرة بنشوف الصاروخ زي هيك والشظايا هذه فبقول لك تبع الجهاد الصواريخ الجهاد الإسلامي.
Hamas call this an obvious fabrication. 2 independent Arab journalists told us the same thing, because of the language, accent, dialect, syntax and tone, none of which is, they say, credible. Equally, Israel claims the Islamic Jihad failed missile was fired from here, a cemetery very close to the hospital. But look again at the video of the event. The trajectory of the missile doesn't line up with that location. Too high, too horizontal. Confusingly, the Israelis' presentation also says the missile was fired from a location down in the southwest. It can't be both. Islamic Jihad say it was an Israeli missile and they have the warhead to prove it, but they haven't produced it.
Why not produce it? So, arguments from both sides. Nobody believes Israel because they've lied so fucking much. Here's what Norman Finkelstein has to say. If you don't know who Norman Finkelstein is, he's a longtime Jewish advocate for Palestine, has been speaking out with it. Professor Norman Finkelstein says, the truth behind Biden's visit, the hospital massacre, and Biden's lie. Hezbollah and Iran stated that unless Israeli attacks on civilians ceased, they would intervene. Israel panicked. It can carry out massacres of defenseless populations, but it can't fight ground wars. It has dreaded a ground war in Gaza, let alone fighting the party of God. Israel begged Biden to visit to protect it from a second front war. When Israel carried out the hospital massacre, Biden agreed to lie about the attack only if Israel agreed to cease its genocidal plan in Gaza and allow in humanitarian aid. Biden lied exactly as Lyndon Baines Johnson lied in June 1967 when Israel attacked the USS Liberty, killing 34 American crewmen. Both LBJ and Biden lied to protect a key ally and not incidentally a domestic electoral asset. Biden will now be praised for his statesmanship in standing by Israel and enabling humanitarian aid to enter Gaza. Once again, I have no idea if this is true, but this is what Norman is claiming. Meanwhile, this week, 1,300 Palestinian children killed, I guess in less than 2 weeks. I've yet to see a single body of Hamas militant, leader, or a financier, just the bodies of children. So regardless if Israel actually bombed the hospital or not, they are murdering tons and tons of innocent children. Here's a drone footage showing the destruction of Gaza. This is a refugee camp. A refugee camp blown to pieces. This is what they want the entirety of Gaza to be. So they can just go in, doze the whole thing off, and build up all their settlements. So regardless if they bomb that hospital or not, they are killing lots and lots of innocent people. Meanwhile, breaking medical staff at another Gaza hospital, this is a completely different hospital, cowering in fear as Israeli missiles rain down on them. And yes, you can't blame this on Hamas. That's definitely Israeli missiles right there, right? No denying that. Comes another one. Terrifying. Death from above. Never know what's coming from. But they don't give a shit, folks. Meanwhile, Prime Minister of Israel posting some just straight out fascist as it can possibly goddamn be shit. Israeli PM. This is a struggle between the children of light and the children of darkness. Between humanity and the law of the jungle. Sounding super like Hitler. Goes on to post, the weak crumble, are slaughtered, and are erased from history, while the strong, for good or for ill, survive. The strong are respected, and alliances are made with the strong, and in the end, peace is made with the strong. It's like what a bad guy was saying, like 1984 or some shit. Just a bad look. Might want to stop fucking posting, dude. Meanwhile, I hate to be super one-sided about this because I know there are tons of Hamas, tons of people in Palestine who are just incredibly evil sacks of shit, terrorists, murderers, who should all be wiped off the fucking face of the earth. But at the same time, the power levels are so incredibly different between the two sides. As I often say, one side is like space aliens and the other side are cavemen. And on the space alien side, here's the kind of thing they're going to be chanting in their streets. Gaza, Gaza, Gaza is a cemetery. Gaza, Gaza, Gaza is a cemetery. There's no school in Gaza because there are no children left in Gaza. There are no lefties. You're an extinct species, an extinct species. Super fucking cool. Not making yourself very likable there, Israelis. Those particular Israelis, anyway. Meanwhile, another unhinged Zionist. Say, Palestinian one more time. Apparently this person was collecting for UNICEF, I guess for the Palestinian refugees. And hell no, can't do that. Yeah. Just have charity worker threatened for mentioning Palestine. Yeah, big tough guy. Big tough man, gonna walk up here, but somebody flat. No, I can't. Sorry, never mind. I didn't say nothing.
Yes, yeah.
Palestine, 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 motherfucker. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Say Palestine again. Dude thinks he's Samuel L. Jackson for Pulp Fiction.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, way to represent your side, dude. Are we the baddies? Seem like you might be a little bit. Meanwhile, so I'm disappointed in Biden, and at the same time, like he's saying some good stuff. It's obvious that he's hearing the blowback. The fact that he is losing a lot of people on the left by being too supportive of Israel and not supportive enough of the innocent Palestinian children being murdered en masse. So he's like, let me make myself clear. The vast majority of Palestinians are not Hamas, and Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people. Gave a pretty good speech, I guess.
Justice must be done. But I caution this: while you feel that rage, don't be consumed by it. After 9/11, we were enraged in the United States. While we sought justice and got justice, we also made mistakes.
Yeah, we spent $5 trillion and attacked two countries that had anything to do with it and killed over like 1 million people. You know, tiny mistake there, Biden.
I'm the first U.S. president to visit Israel in time of war. I've made wartime decisions. I know the choices are never clear or easy for the leadership. There's always cost, but it requires being deliberate. It requires asking very hard questions. It requires clarity about the objectives and an honest assessment about whether the path you're on will achieve those objectives. The vast majority of Palestinians are not Hamas. Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people.
Okay, so then you're immediately calling to the indiscriminate bombing of the Palestinians, right? You're not going to fund Israel anymore till they agree, right? No, you're going to go over there and do photo ops with war criminal BB and probably write them a blank check anyway. It's all lip service. It's really hard to be enthusiastic. But hey, like, I got to give it to him when he does good things. I just announced $100 million for humanitarian assistance in Gaza and the West Bank. This money will support over 1 million displaced and conflict-affected Palestinians. And we will have mechanisms in place so this aid reaches those in need, not Hamas or terrorist groups. I mean, that's good. I don't want to shit on Biden too much because the alternative is Trump. It's going to be way worse, but it's still very, very not good. As Abby Martin says, blood-soaked war criminals and partners in genocide. What a shame on humanity. And yep, over there hugging, embracing this fucking war criminal. This guy who's responsible for just the last 2 weeks killing over 1,300 innocent children. Gonna write him a blank check so they can kill more, and you and I are gonna have to fucking pay for it, at least my fellow Americans. So, not the best, to be honest with you. And unbelievably disappointing from John Fetterman. I'm always saying, can't find a better man, but holy shit, Fetterman says, it's truly disturbing that members of Congress rush to blame Israel for the hospital tragedy in Gaza. I wonder why. It's because they're bombing hospitals, killing 1,300 children, and they lie all the fucking time. Who would take the word of a group that just massacred innocent Israeli civilians over a key ally? They're literally murdering innocent Palestinian civilians, John Fetterman. Who would take the word of this terrorist group murdering 1,300 innocent Palestinian children? I guess you would, Fetterman. Fetterman goes on to say, I will always stand with Israel and look forward to supporting any military, intelligence, or humanitarian aid to get the job done. Yeah, I'm sure. More warmongering from the people that shouldn't fucking be doing that. Fetterman goes on to post, now is not the time to talk about a ceasefire. Good goddamn. What are you fucking doing? We must support Israel's efforts to eliminate the Hamas terrorists who slaughtered innocent men, women, and children. How about the Palestinian efforts to eliminate the terrorists that killed 1,300 innocent children? How about that? Hamas does not want peace. Yeah, Israel, super fucking peaceful. They want to destroy Israel. We can talk about a ceasefire after Hamas is neutralized. Dude. Fucking dude. Like, I want to read that this is not real, but I guess it is. So fuck. Just how disheartening. It's going to be real hard to champion Fetterman anymore in the future. Way to just kill all the goodwill that we had for you guys. Make it real hard to be enthusiastic about Democrats at this point. Meanwhile, here's why you can't trust Western media, folks. They'll literally say one thing, and the very next day, when called out for their words, they'll just glibly lie to you. Completely straight-faced. Oh, I didn't say that. I never said that. Here's Piers Morgan being called out.
The lies of 40 decapitated babies, although it was refuted. So what happens when people hear that the lies of 40 decapitated babies, although it was refuted. So what happens when people hear that, you know, killing babies is horrible. But when you say decapitated 40 babies, you are planting a certain image
Well, who has
with a
said
certain
that?
trigger in people's mind.
Who has said that? Who has said 40?
Who has said that? You have said
that?
40 decapitated.
Who has said that?
You have repeated.
No, I haven't.
What?
I've never said that.
You haven't said on your show 40 decapitated babies?
I choked up earlier reading this new revelation about 40 babies being killed.
Oh, my God.
And some of them being beheaded. And I was like, how can any human being do that to a baby?
Their words mean
Never.
nothing.
Ben Shapiro didn't say it?
No.
And it was confirmed by multiple news sources, 40 babies dead, some beheaded. Here is CNN.
Ron DeSantis didn't say
Nobody has said.
Okay, but
Strip and worked in Palestinian refugee camps. They are not decapitating babies' heads. They are not intentionally doing that.
Peter,
No, they
nobody
haven't.
said it?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe I am wrong. Decapitated. Here's the
you're
thing.
wrong. I've never said that.
The thing, what happened, no, you're wrong.
But it doesn't matter because the people that listen to this show don't care. They'll just take his word for it. Look how confidently he is just claiming he never said it. And he's not going to play the video showing that he said it. He's not going to contradict himself by showing exactly what he said the day before. So that's why you don't listen to them. But folks, are a lot of good people out there, a lot of good Jewish people out there trying to stop this ethnic cleansing. As Elon Omar says, I'm deeply inspired by the mass movement of peace-loving people led by Jewish and Muslim Americans. Here they are at, I believe, the White House mass protest. That's not the White House, that's the Capitol building. And thank you to our Jewish allies. Here they are. Jewish protesters for a free Palestine flood the rotunda of the Cannon Building, which is one of the office buildings of Congress. Jews say ceasefire now, ceasefire. Fucking heroes trying to throw their bodies against the gears of the machine. Powerful. Jews say ceasefire, getting arrested. Putting their freedom where their words are. And then last but not least, hero Bernie Sanders. Why isn't this our president, y'all? Gave a stirring 6-minute speech. I'm going to play 2 minutes of it.
Madam President, I listened carefully to what Senator Scott and others have said about the barbarous act committed by Hamas against innocent men, women, and children, the mowing down by machine guns of young people who were doing nothing more than attending a dance, the murder of babies. This is an horrific act precipitating a worldwide crisis, and the United States of America, all of us, condemn this act. And in my view, the state of Israel has the absolute right to defend itself against Hamas and terrorism in general. No debate on that. But what I ask my colleagues to also consider is that while we fully appreciate the horrific attack by Hamas against innocent people of Israel, I ask you also to understand that right now there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of innocent men, women, and children in Gaza who have lost their homes. They've been thrown out of their homes. They have no food, they have no water, they have no fuel. And I remind my colleagues that half of those people are children. Half of the people in Gaza are children. So yes, we are united in doing everything we can to destroy Hamas and their terrorism. But I implore you, do not take Hamas's inhumanity and brutality and terrorism against children who are 3 or 5 years old. I ask you to think for a moment. Think about it. I have a state, represent the state of Vermont, 630,000 people. 1 million people, most of them are poor. They got nothing to begin with before this whole business. Gaza was one of the most desperately poor places in the world. Youth unemployment, 75%. Many of their people dependent on the UN for basic survival.
Yeah. Tell him, Bernie, fucking hero Bernie, man. I wish our country was good enough to have elected him, but we're not, unfortunately. And that is my Palestinian coverage for Wednesday. Not the best. Very disheartening. What do you think about that? I saw somebody left because they can't stand the Democratic bashing. Okay, well, like, I'm not going to pretend like Democrats are going to be good on this issue when they're not good on this issue. I'm going to hold my own side accountable when they're wrong, because otherwise is unhelpful. If you never hold your side accountable, you never make them better, right? You can't just go along with everything. You have to stand up when you don't agree with your own side. And I will continue doing so as I see the need. Why can we have nice things? I know, right? We don't deserve it. Bernie nailed it, as he usually does. Hero Bernie. You have not bashed anyone here other than Trump. I mean, I did take Fetterman to the woodshed a little bit. Rightfully so, I think. And all right, moving along, folks. Get your super chats in. We're going to do a trash world, a little beyond parody. And then we're going to finish it up with a slow news week. But we're going to do a mixture trash world beyond parody. So let's see how well I can do this. Trash world beyond parody. Fair. First off tonight, trash world. What the fuck is wrong with J.K. Rowling? I mean, literally all she has to do is enjoy being a billionaire. But these people get so obsessed with this trans issue. Talk about the anti-trans mind virus. Going to give up her entire excuse me, her entire legacy. Her entire legacy's gone. Because she cannot shut the fuck up about the trans issue. She's like obsessed with it. Repeat after us, trans women are women. No. Like, why? Why do you have to post that? It's an ego thing. She got attacked because of her transphobia. And oh, hell no. Her ego just would not let her fucking let it go. Good grief. I always thought the Harry Potter books were shit anyway, though. Completely overrated. Meanwhile, I just got to see the Natalee Holloway murder confessed after all these years. And it turned out it was exactly the person we all thought it was. Jordan Vandersloot. Remember the Natalee Holloway case? 2005. It was the big case. Pretty blonde girl went on vacation. Where was it? Aruba. Went to Aruba and vanished. Didn't know what happened to her. Now, after all this time, Vandersloot, who was the main suspect in the case, admitted that he hit on her, tried to have sex with her. According to him, she turned him down, kneed him in the balls, so he kicked her in the face as hard as he could, knocked her out, and then smashed her brains in with a rock and carried her out to the ocean. Apparently, he was already in prison for another murder he did. Man, it's so scary to be a woman. Turn down a dude and they could just murder you. Be careful. Do not go alone with guys you don't know. Don't go on vacation. I know it's shitty. It's a shitty fucking world. I know I should be telling guys not to murder. I should have to tell women to be careful, but what are you going to fucking do? Be very careful whose company you put yourself in, ladies. Scary trash fucking world. Meanwhile, more stochastic terrorism. White supremacist killer testifies he was radicalized by conspiratorial content like InfoWars. Alex Jones, once again, getting people killed. The admitted white nationalist who killed a Muslim family said he was inspired by neo-Nazi terrorists and anti-Muslim rhetoric he found on conspiracy websites like InfoWars. Nathan Veltman, 22, is on his 5th day of testifying in a trial where he is facing 4 first-degree murder charges. one charge of an attempted murder charge as well as terrorist charges. Veltman has pleaded not guilty to the charges, but does not dispute that he ran down the family and wrote a racist manifesto just weeks before the killing. In an anti-Muslim screed he wrote before the killings and in a police interrogation which was shown to the jury, Veltman said he hoped to inspire more white nationalist vehicle attacks. On June 6, 2021, the accused driving a pickup truck ran down a family who were waiting to cross a street in London, Ontario, killing 4 of 5 of them. Salman Afzal, 46, his wife Mahdi Salman, 44, their 15-year-old daughter Yumna Afzal, and Salman Afzal's 74-year-old mother Talat Afzal were all killed in the attack. Only the family's 9-year-old son survived. During his cross-examination by the Crown Tuesday, Veltman said that he fell into the white nationalist belief after falling down a radicalization pipeline. I consumed libertarian content, mainstream conservative content, he said on the stand. Then I slowly started looking at some alt-right content on YouTube and then stumbled across some of the more fringe. So obviously this guy was Antifa or a PSYOP or it's the FBI or something. Because Alex Jones can't possibly be responsible. Right-wing influencers can't fucking possibly be responsible, can they? Yes. They don't care. They know what they're doing. They never take any responsibility. But you guys have blood on your fucking hands. Meanwhile, in the Beyond Parody section, now we have woke skin cream, or anti-woke skin cream, folks. Anti-fucking woke skin cream. Stop sacrificing your values. Conservative skincare for the modern babe. Anti-woke, pro-American, amazing skin. Yeah, doesn't your skin lotion have a political slant? Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? You don't want no fucking woke facial cream. ABG, always be grift. It's amazing. Just put anti-woke on anything and you can sell it to idiots. I guess don't hate the player, hate the game. And then, yikes. So I love it when they fight each other, conservatives. Apparently, Christina Pushaw, who is one of Ron DeSantis' aides, and Donald Trump Jr. are having a little sparring session. Christina, I guess, blocked somebody, to which Donald Trump Jr., Coke Jr. says, she should have really been blocking the person that gives her those lip injections. What the fuck? To which Christina responds, sorry, we can't all be as naturally beautiful as Gavin Newsom's ex. Oh, snap. Imagine being engaged to this woman. This woman. This is Coke Jr.'s fiance. And with a straight face, getting online and making fun of somebody else for their lip filler, folks. Shamelessness is their superpower. No self-awareness whatsoever. Yeah, this lady, this is the lady you're marrying. Start to think she might have had a little work done there, Coke Jr. Might want to get that beam out of your eye before you point out the speck in your neighbor's eye. Just saying. And meanwhile, and lastly, on Beyond Parody, Jordan Kepler's back, folks. Hopefully this will not get me copyrighted. This is just a 24-second clip. Please do not copyright me, Comedy Central. But love me some Jordan Kepler, and he's back with his new expose on the latest Trump rally. And as always, the dumbest fucking people among us worshiping Trump. Let's have a look.
Never surrender to the tyranny.
What is Trump doing here on this shirt?
This is his mug.
Never surrender to the tyranny, says the brain genius.
Never surrender to the tyranny.
What is Trump doing here on this shirt?
This is his mugshot.
Gotcha. So that was taken when he surrendered to authorities to have his picture taken.
Huh? It says never surrender, but
is that on the back? Is the butt? Let me see the back. Let me see the back.
I think
but,
it's just Trump.
It's just Trump. So where's the butt part? Is that's implied?
Never. Good God, hamster dead on the wheel in the head. Nothing going fucking on. Of course there's not. Otherwise you wouldn't be a Trump supporter. And that's my Beyond Parody. Tyranny. Yep. Man, maybe there's something mentally wrong with these people and I shouldn't be making fun of them, but holy God, it's all of them. Blow up dog cam, yep. Definitely got DSLs. We doing word association. Can't even do that right. Vacuum head. It's tyrannic. Yes, it is tyrannic. Tyranny. Words are hard, y'all. Don't expect them to pronounce stuff. And all right, last chance to get your super chats in, folks. Do it to it. You know you want to. It's time for some slow news week. Slow News Week, starring Dusty Smith. Yeehaw! And first off on Slow News Week, so folks, apparently I have been saying a racial slur on the show recently, accidentally. Slopehead. I have been making fun of conservative slope-headed children. Now, the definition I was using was this definition. Slopehead, term used to describe the modern-day knuckle-dragging, close-minded Neanderthal. Typical lazy slopehead who'd rather sit on their arse all day and blame migrants for their lot. That's how I was using the word. But apparently a slopehead generally means an Asian that has a big head that slopes, and oopsies. So I guess I shouldn't say that anymore. My bad. I guess somewhere in my brain, I must have heard this as a racial slur in the past, but I forgot that it was a racial slur. So yes, I will not be saying slopehead anymore, and I apologize to anybody out there who was offended. If you exist, my bad. And then apparently, Victoria's Secret is giving up plus-size models and inclusivity. Victoria's Secret is reporting done with prioritizing wokeness over sexiness after sales drop. Now, obviously, Victoria's Secret never cared about wokeness or any of this. They were just trying to make money, and it failed, I guess, because enough fat women or whatever didn't buy their clothing. So they're going back to super hot models that can be sexually assaulted by the people running their companies again. Lots of documentaries done about it. Not a good company. Probably should not buy from them, in my opinion. But good luck, Victoria's Secret. And last but not least, one more. A wax statue of Dwayne Johnson. Is this Madame Tussauds? I don't know what wax place this is, but was revealed, and a lot of people no likey the new Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It looks like Dr. Evil. It doesn't look good. It looks bad. First off, he's too young or something. He's too smooth. I don't know. Looks like a scrotum. Bad job, waxers. Might want to fix that shit. That's just my opinion. And all right, folks, that is my time tonight. Did a quick one. Join me tonight on the after party. We are going to do a sneak peek at my next true crime episode about Jeff Garapay. And I don't have enough to do a whole true crime episode about it yet, but he is being a giant fucking weirdo, and we're going to cover his latest antics. So you guys get a sneak peek at my next episode. Not going to miss that. Available to all my patrons. Link in the description of this video, my patron. Please consider becoming a patron. Lots of exclusive content. You're not going to want to miss it, and it helps out the cats. And my dogs too. I need to show my dogs more often, but I do have a ass load of dogs we've rescued out there. So if you like the free content I put out, please consider becoming a patron and joining me at the after party tonight. You're not going to want to miss it. And also available to all my dust buddies out there. So better see all you guys tonight at the party. I'd appreciate it. If you've been out, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe. Please tell your friends about the show. And please leave comments if you're watching on the replay, because that helps with the algorithm. Jason Ashby gifted 2 Dusty memberships to some of you lucky motherfuckers out there. But I see you at the after party. Q4S, $10. My dad lost his fight against cancer. Oh, I'm sorry, Q4S. I miss him so much. I lost my dad too, man. And I think about him every day. Sorry I've been so absent for so long. You take all the time you need, Q4. Thanks to all the very kind folks in the chat who have helped me get up spirits. Yeah, I know how it is. I've been there, man, and I feel your pain, and we're all in this together. Like, I would say feel better, but how can you feel better, right? You're not going to. So I'm just sorry that happened to you, man. Big Black Corvette, get a $10 cult testimony. Say, hell yeah, thank you, Big Black Corvette. Hard to follow that bad news with joviality, but I appreciate you, BBC. Everybody give BBC some love. R Bananas, what's up? R, good to see you tonight. Blanket, hello and hugs to the community, you and the kiddies. Not feeling well again tonight. I'm sorry to hear that. We'll be watching, but quietly hope my present made it to you. I need to go tomorrow and get it, but I'm sure it did, and I will unbox the next show. Thank you, R. Love all y'all. Kitty party at the end. Yep, we're going to do the kitty party in the honor of you right after I read these super chats. Mitchell God, late a second time in a row. I got to get it together. Hey, it's hard on us all. At least you're showing up. I appreciate you, Mitchell. And more free cultism memberships to some of you guys out there. Thank you, Mitchell God, for your socialism. Amazing, as always. Swagger and Cat, I was a teen in the early 80s. Me too. The satanic panic was real, and I played D&D. The Pharaohs send their regards. Hey, as always, give them scritches to me. I never played any D&D, but I definitely heard about satanic panic all the time. They freaked us out. Roses, $20. Kitties. Cats to you, Roses. Thank you for generosity. Dookie Boomers, $20. Appreciate your Wednesday shows. Hey, I appreciate you guys supporting my Wednesday shows. It means a lot. Jesse Duffy, more socialism. Everybody who got a free one from Jesse Duffy, be sure to give him some love. Appreciate you, Jesse. Maximus, 1975, Kiddo Party coming your way, Maximus. I hear ya. Free thinking secularist, $2. How do I get that one recreational DRG on Amazon? Oh, you're talking about nitrous. Just look up I guess whipped cream chargers. Look up whipped cream chargers. Now they come in these little bitty metal containers, but they also have the big containers. And I suggest get the big containers because you don't need a cracker for the big containers. They have a little nozzle you just unscrew and suck it in. You can get like 6 bottles for like $200, like $35 a bottle or some shit like that. That's what I would go with. Yogi Bear, and if you guys want to send me some, please send me some. Fucking send me that shit. Yogi Berra 6363. Yo kidding, these ear scritches done. Ear scritches and treats coming their way. Oh yeah, Mr. Pretty Boy. He's a daddy's boy right here, isn't he? He got to be in my lap at all times when I'm doing this show. It's like my favorite spot, isn't it? Thank you, Yogi. Verxt, $5. Just a thought, Dusty. I think your hero section is too short. I love me some good news about good people. Yeah, it's real short. But like I can't pull heroes out of my ass. Like I only can report what I find. So like, yeah, I wish there was way more, to be honest with you. I'll try to find more, but like if they're not coming my way, they're not coming my way. Walsh literally made Zap a Brannigan argument. Futurama, I get the reference. Love me some Futurama. Socialist, $10. The idea previous bombed doctors and told the local doctors to evacuate or else the day before. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to know, right? Can't trust them, that's for sure. Socialist, $5. There's an Al Jazeera video of the hospital bombing where the bomb sounds like a missile. Okay, I didn't see that, but I had no trouble believing that. So much misinformation going on both sides, though, so it's real hard to suss out the truth, unfortunately. Good midweek show, Dust Master. I wish I could give the usual $20, but I got 5 for you. Hey, 5 is good. It all adds up. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you. Socialist, $5. This Fetterman news is depressing. Yeah, I know, right? I guess we can find a better man. Finwa, $10. Appreciate your hard work. Take some money. Hey, appreciate you, Finwa. You fucking hero. You. Socialist, $20. Great coverage. Good dim bashing. Minor dim bashing, but sometimes dim needs a little bashing. We got to call on our own side to keep them straight. I found the thing. Hell yeah, Blazing Chronic. Do that thing. Our bananas. Peace for Palestinians. The world is a very sad place right now. Thanks for always speaking the truth, Dusty. I mean, I try to speak the truth. I don't always get it right, folks. I'm as flawed as any human, but I mean, I do my best, and I appreciate you guys. Blazing Chronic. Cat party, please. Hell yeah, coming right up, Blazing Chronic. Promise. Gonna play the new Kitty Party song you guys named my Pixel song Kitty Party, which is a perfect name for it. So the exclusive song Kitty Party by Dusty Smith coming up, and the Kitty Party going along with the song. For you, the kiddies, and the pups, $20. Cole James. Woo woo, you said something this week, Cole James. Love me some Cole James. Name my kid after you still, Cole. And Lizzie Bennett finishing us off, $5. No love lost with Victoria's Secrets. Their biggest bras are too small for me. Ladies, check out Bravissimo. All right, anything better than Victoria's Secrets. Fuck that company. Not the best. And all right, folks, thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to be back on Friday with another episode of the world's greatest program coming at you soon. The rest of you who are members of both my Patreon and Dusty's can join me right now at the after party. We're going to take a look at the latest shenanigans from possible murderer JF Garape. So we're going to talk about that. But now it's time for the... Ooh, God damn it, the light went out. I got to buy me a new ring light. This ring light's got a short in it. All right, you guys ready for this? Let's go Full screen. Let's go full screen and switch over. Time for an original song by Dusty Smith. This song is called Kitty Party. Hell yeah. And now, Kitty Party! Kitty Party! Kitty Party! This week's Kitty Party! Pretty boy! So what you gonna do? Somebody insulted me the other day on my channel. They said I'm a childless, crazy cat lady. Guilty! I definitely am. Childless, crazy cat lady. That describes me perfectly, but just say that like it's a bad thing. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a fun time with it. All right. More Kitty Party. Mr. Connor. Is that good? Arvin Anna sent us that. Thank you, Arv. Thank you for your head there, Mr. Hashtag. Pretty boy. Violet. Good Violet. Miss Misty. Yeah, my first rescue. So pretty. And all right, folks. Thank you for joining me. See you guys at the after party. Hell yeah. Good night, y'all. Kitty Party Emojicon. That's a great idea. That'll be the next one I add. Love the mods as always. Appreciate you, mods. Thank you, Kermit Mickle. Thank you, Misha Reaver. More power to you, brother. Love you and the kitties from the Bayou. Missed it. Lizzie Bennett, no love lost for days. All right, good. I got it. Good night, everybody. Switch over now.